This is perhaps the best setup we've ever had, which is interesting considering I've done this 1.5 billion times now. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Knit by Day podcast, and I am questioning whether or not it is 8 or 9 or 10. I honestly don't know, but if you've made it this far, you've already seen the title screen in which it will tell you what episode it is. Today is January 26th, I think. See, I'm just questioning everything today. Perhaps show notes would work? Let's see. Oh, look, I did write the date on the show notes. It is actually the 24th, so I'm trying to fling us ahead 2 days. Not gonna work, unfortunately. Before we get started on all the nitty goodness, I have one quick announcement, and that is about the Christmas cast on cowl that is happening both on Instagram and Ravelry. I wanted to let you guys know that the FO thread is now open, so you are free to post all of your finished objects, and I am way looking forward to seeing them if you finished. If you didn't, that's okay. There have been some lovely projects over there, even just in the beginning stages. The other thing about that cast on cowl is that it ends February 2nd. So just a warning that on February 2nd, I will be closing all threads and I will not be taking any additional entries on Instagram. And then I'll be drawing the winner either that day or the following day. Also, so you guys know, in case I wasn't clear about this, every post you make in Ravelry or on Instagram does count as an entry into the drawing. I'm not picking my favorite comment or picking my favorite project. I'm simply putting your name into a hat and drawing it out. And so the more you go over there and have conversation, the more you post, the better your odds of winning are gonna be, which is pretty cool. And yeah. That's about it for the Christmas cast on cowl. I have been loving going over there and chatting with you guys. I finished my project, so I'm excited to share that with you guys. And without further ado, let's get into it. Let's do the finished objects. I technically have 3 finished objects, but one of the finished objects are those socks, the blue socks that I showed on the last podcast, and I know I said I was going to show them to you. I know I said I was going to take pictures, but I accidentally just gave them away. I got overzealous and gifted them without showing you guys. So sorry about that. They were just plain vanilla socks, and they did look huge because men's feet are larger than women's. Did you know that? So yeah, don't have those to show you, but I still have 2 other finished objects that I can show you. Okay. My friend's texting me about someone, she's on a plane and someone took off not 1, but 2 masks to sneeze on the airplane. So I was just reading her text. Okay, the first finished object that I have is a design that I've been working on. You guys will have seen a different version. It was like a black and blue speckled version. This is different. So I went ahead and frogged the other version of this cowl simply because the yarn I was using for that was fingering held double, and it was just a mess. Every time I had to rip out or do anything aside from knit straight, it just became a tangled mess and I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So I did order this yarn, which is traveling yarn. It's in her DK base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. This pink color that you're seeing here is called Pickled Pink, and the black is called Vanta. It's super scrumptious and soft. So yeah, this is a design that I have done. It is a cowl, and let's see if I can put it on for you without hurting myself, my ears specifically. I'm thinking about, as I finish knitting the second version and writing up the pattern, I might go a little bit tighter with it so it sits a little bit more snug. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what that looks and feels like. But yes, so I'm going to be knitting a reverse version of this just to kind of check my work and make sure it is how I want it to be. So by reverse, I mean the pink will be the lines here and the black will become the background. While I'm doing that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put up a call for testers. So this is the official announcement. If you are interested in being a tester for this pattern, please send me an email to deja@hotmail.com. Nope, don't send me an email there, that's my spam. Deja@gmail.com. Send me an email there. Let me know that you're interested. If you will, let me know what experience you have testing, what experience you have with color work. I'm not going to require that anybody have experience with those two things. So if you want to give color work a try on this, it is a little bit intermediate, but I'm definitely willing to take on testers that have not knit color work yet. So don't feel like you can't apply or let me know that you're interested just because you haven't done anything like this before. All right, last glance at it before we put it away. The other thing about this pattern is I don't have a name yet. And I am really bad at coming up with names, hence why I just named my last design the Melissa beanie after my friend. So if you guys can think of a really cool name for that cowl, put it in the comments below. I'm also, I think, going to make a post on Instagram about this, but if I choose to use the name you come up with for the cowl, I'm going to be sending you this skein of yarn. This is Ken Yarn's DK base, and the colorway is called Proud because he actually, when he first released this colorway, he was collecting donations for the LGBT community, which I thought was really cool, and I immediately hopped on it. And I love this color. I just haven't used it for anything, and so I figured what better way to give it a new home than by having a little contest, a little naming contest. So that's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, in order to enter that, just put your best name in the comments below, or if you choose to use Instagram, I will have a post with the cowl, a picture of the cowl up there, and you can comment below on that post as well. Cool. Moving on to the next finished object. It's really cool to have two. Okay, I'm not currently wearing this because it is still damp from blocking, which technically means I shouldn't be touching it at all. It should still be on my blocking mat, but I was impatient. I had to show you guys. So this is the Pixelated Cardi. So you can kind of tell it's damp. This is the Pixelated Cardi by Knit Collage, and this is in the graphite kit. I have already really shown this off in the last podcast. I think I needed like a sleeve in the border. That is now done. I'll give you a glance at the border. This border is crocheted, which I don't know how much I've said about crochet on this podcast, but it's probably nothing because I don't think I've ever legitimately picked up a crochet hook and actually like worked on something. My sister crochets, so I've left that skill to her, but doing this border was actually a ton of fun, and it makes me understand why a lot of knitters and a lot of podcasters will have one little crochet project going, like a blanket or something that they can occasionally pick up and crochet on. And it's got me thinking that maybe I want to do something similar. Of course, I already have a blanket on my needles, that being the Habitation Throw that I'm knitting with my Homespun House Minis. So I don't know that I want to take on another blanket right away. I might wait until that one comes off the needles and then do something like I think a Cozy Memories blanket. I think that's crochet. So yeah. There might be some crocheting in my future. I don't know. I had a ton of fun with that. But yeah, I would show that off more, but it is like heavy from being damp. Really chunky damp wool is super heavy, so I'm not gonna show it off too much. I will be wearing it on the next podcast. That is my promise, even if it's hot. Because I am really excited to show that one off. It's so cute. I almost want to knit another one, but to be honest, thick needles and thick yarn really hurts my hands, so I don't know how much I would actually enjoy knitting another version. I would really be product knitting, which I don't really love to do because I usually don't finish anyway. Now that we've showcased the 2 FOs and talked about the one missing FO, I have 2 whips to show you today. 2 whips you've already seen. So the first one that's actually been getting a lot of love, and you're not going to be able to tell, is the little black cardigan that I am working on, my yellow little black cardigan. So if I can find my progress keeper, cool. So you can see that little gold one, that's where I was the last time we spoke. So I have put 2, maybe 3 inches onto this thing, which I think says a lot because it is a slow moving project. As I've mentioned a million times over, I am knitting this with Malabrigo's lace weight, and while it's held together, it is still, you know, when you knit with 2 yarns held together, they end up splitting really easily, so you gotta slow down for that reason. And then lace weight, 2 lace weight held double, I feel like it's still not quite making a fingering weight, and if it is, it's a light fingering, and so it is, you know, not moving along as quickly as maybe I would like. But I am still really enjoying it. The yarn's really soft. I do have all of the details on that project in the show notes below. I'm not going to go over them again simply because I already have talked about this cardigan at least 4 or 5 times on the podcast. So I'm not going to bore you with information you already have. And that's why we're moving on to the next whip. All right, check the notes so we don't forget anything. Don't quite know where I was on this shawl the last time I showed it, so I am gonna show it again just because I know I have put in a couple of rows, even though it might not be a ton. This was the mystery knit along for a homespun house, and it is knit out of my Advent minis from Sweet Nesting Yarn, as I have told you guys a billion times. So yeah, I think this is a new section for you guys. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that like really bold pop of blue. I don't know that I'm loving it, but I promised myself I was going to be less control-y on this project, so I am trying to just let it ride and hope I love it when it all comes together at the end. We will see. I don't hate it. It's a gorgeous color, and so it's hard to hate any of the color choices I make here because all of the yarn is gorgeous. It's just maybe not the color I would have preferred to come next, but is what it is. So slowly trucking along on that one, and that's it. Let's make sure. Yeah, that's it as far as things that I am working on. I am feeling an itch to cast on, but I'm a little bit stuck because the only things that I currently have on my to knit list, the only things that I'm really excited about on my to knit list are 2 designs, which I want to finish up what I'm currently working on, like finish the testing call, finish writing that pattern up with the cowl before I jump into yet another design. And I kind of just want a pattern that's going to tell me what to do. So yeah, I'm stuck. I don't know what I want to work on, but I do know that I want to cast on something new. So if you guys have any suggestions on what I could work on, that would be phenomenal. I don't think I want another shawl. I'll definitely knit another sweater. I'm always down for a sweater. And yeah, that's it. I do have 2 sock sets coming in the mail. One is the Galentine's Day set from Chelsea Yarns, which I've never bought from Chelsea Yarns, so I am excited to see that yarn in person. I've heard good things. And then another set I have is actually from a newer yarn dyer. The company's called Rocky Mountain Yarn Co. And I think the sock set I ordered is called Bubbles. That's my on-call phone. That was the lovely sound of my on-call phone, which terrifies me every time it rings. Not even because I'm afraid of what's on the other line, more so because it is so loud and so obnoxious that it always like shocks me and freaks me out. Anyway, nobody's dying. So finishing up here, I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, I got a sock set from Rocky Mountain Yarn Company, and I think it's the Bubbles at Midnight set. It is a navy blue and it's sparkly, and I think the set comes with a yellow and a white maybe. But anyway, you guys will see that in about 2 weeks when I record next. I am super excited about it. I have the goal of knitting 1 pair of socks per month, and I already obviously did that with my friend Ben's socks, so January is complete. I think I'm gonna cast on the Galentine's Day socks for my February, and then March will likely be the Rocky Mountain yarn. So all to come. As far as life stuff, I've had the last week off of work, so I went down to Tampa to see my friends Ben and Morgan, my best friends, and spent several days with them hanging out, really just kind of isolating together. And then I came home, I got a couple of days here to do some chores, spend some time with Christian, all that stuff, getting ready for Monday. And after a week off, I never dread going to work, but I'm definitely more excited for Monday to come than I typically would be, just because I feel recharged. I'm ready to get back to work and do something productive. So that's pretty close to it. My mom tonight is doing Kids Appreciation Day, which is something she does once a year, and it's basically like a Mother's or a Father's Day, but instead of celebrating the parents, she celebrates all of the kids. So all of us will be going over there this afternoon/evening and eating and playing games and just hanging out together, which is cool because while all of the kids are in town, we're almost all adults with the exception of my teenage brother. So we're kind of, busy, a little too busy to have all of us all together all the time. And so to have everyone in the house and hanging out is going to be really, really cool. So that's my day. I am off to finish cleaning up and then headed over to Kids Appreciation Day. I hope you guys have a lovely 2 weeks, and I will see you next time.